Are you serious?
I didn't know that mute button was there. All right, so now we are actually here. Welcome back to another fall of Wittenberg Fall Athletics. We just spent the last 10 minutes talking and didn't realize our computer was muted, so we have deeply apologized for that as we were getting ready to start action here. Quick recap over what we're saying. Two very talented teams on the court tonight with Calvin and Wittenberg University squaring off here. The number 4 team in Calvin, the number 21 team in Wittenberg, battling it off here in a top 25 NCAC-MIAA challenge here. This crossover challenge featuring 6 teams, all being Ohio Wesleyan, Denison, Hope, Wittenberg, and Calvin. A lot of very talented, some top 25 teams in Hope, Calvin, and Wittenberg. Wittenberg coming off a big victory of Calvin last year.
Yeah.
3-1 at Calvin. So Calvin maybe looking to make some noise here in Springfield tonight. So we welcome you to another great season of Tiger Broadcasting here at Fall Athletics. I am JJ Weisenberger here with my good host and good friend Nicole. Nicole, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How are you, JJ?
I am doing wonderful now that people are actually able to hear us.
Yes.
So Wittenberg coming into this one 1-2 with some tough losses over the number 1 and number 9 team in the country. Calvin 4-0 with some big wins over the number 11 team Barry and number 8 team Transylvania.
JJ, it is going to be a battle tonight.
It is going to be a battle. It's a packed gym here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. We are ready for the opening serve from Calvin. The opening serve is up and away. Allie White will receive that one. The set to Kate Colahan. That'll get blocked, but Wittenberg able to stay in the game. Here's the All-American Tyler Linkhart. That one will be played off by the Knights, but a good block from the Tigers is unfortunately just out of bounds as Calvin will strike first here. But a little bit of things we talked about going into this game, some pregame
things you missed out on, but that's okay. We'll highlight it during the action.
We will. Some star power going into this one. A couple of All-Americans on the court. Right here is one, Tyler Linkhart. That's a big kill there. Will go off the top of the ceiling. Will bounce down favorably for the Knights. This one to Ricketts, and Colahan was not ready for that one. And we see that a lot from Mac Ricketts. She's able to deceive a lot of defenses and a lot of opposing teams with the way she's able to manipulate her passes with her eyes and the way she's able to make it seem like she's going to go cross court and really soften up at the end there and get that pass to the
She's
the
very
middle
good
there.
at reading the blockers and getting one-on-one opportunities for her hitters.
And here's another one. That one will be long. Another good dig there from this Calvin team who's looking really strong so far, but that one will just sneak out of bounds and Wittenberg is on the board. So we talked a little bit about the All-American for the Tigers and Tyler Linkhart. On the other side of things for Calvin, Aubrey Rubel, number 5, a 5th-year All-American, the libero for this talented Knights squad, is going to look to lead this team to a big victory and stay undefeated on the season, but a good serve from Allie White will even things up here at 2 apiece.
Some people to look out for tonight from Wittenberg University, we've already talked about her, are Tyler Linkhart, Miss Mac Ricketts, and her sister, Miss Piper Ricketts. And then on the opposing side from Calvin, you're going to have to look out for Gabriella Kellogg, Aaron Baker, and the libero, Aubrey Rubel.
And Tyler Linkhart with a big kill there and a very tough dig for the Calvin number 11, Avery Ekins. But it's just a little too powerful off the hands of the very powerful hitter Tyler Linkhart, and that one's going to sky up into the scoreboard and drop down, and Wittenberg takes its first lead of the first set. Another serve from Allie White's a good one. Calvin's going to set this one up, just going to tap over, and a good block at the net for the Tigers, so we're going to get a whistle. It's going to be point Wittenberg. It's Wittenberg able to string together 4 straight points here off of some good serving from Allie White.
Yeah, Allie White's definitely one of the strongest servers on this Wittenberg team. I definitely would not want to be passing against her serve. It's got a lot of float, and it moves a lot and drops on people, which is really good.
It's got some very good power behind it, too, and she seems to have very good control. And where it's going, a big block for Bartulovic there, and that one will drop, and Wittenberg with a 3-point advantage here at set number 1. And Allie White stepping into a big role, the libero role for this Tigers team.
Yeah, she's super young. She's a sophomore, but she is super talented. She played last year as a defensive specialist, but this year she gets to show off her talents as the starting libero.
And that's going to be a big hit, and that one's going to go out of bounds too, so 6 straight points. And a good read there. And we're going to get a timeout from Calvin early on as this Wittenberg crowd is getting into it here. Wittenberg taking a 6-2 advantage. What are you seeing so far, Nicole?
So far, I think Wittenberg's energy and their presence is just overwhelming Calvin. I don't know if they didn't expect us to come out this strong or to come out this fast. Another thing is Calvin really needs to focus on their passing right now. Allie White has a great serve and it moves a lot, and they really need to focus on getting that ball high and in the middle of the court if they want to run an offense against this Wittenberg team. Yeah,
this Wittenberg team, first home game on the season, traveled and played in a very tough tournament type atmosphere to start the season, get some really good competition. Playing number 9, Johns Hopkins, taking them to 5 sets. So really a lot of good experience coming in for a team with some new faces. You see Bartulovic stepping into a bigger role. You see just Kendall Black stepping into a big role, Allie White stepping into a bigger role, some of these freshmen coming in. And another thing to highlight is we're going to see a pair of sisters on the court tonight, two of them.
Pairs.
We're going to see the Ricketts.
And the Colahans, yeah. Kate is a freshman. She's a freshman middle. And then Cam is a junior, and she plays right back and comes in back row for Alana.
So some good team chemistry coming in on the court already with this duo pair of sisters coming in. So Allie White's going to step back in. Student section right behind her, cheering her on. A very good opening crowd here for Wittenberg. Coming to cheer on their number 21 ranked Tigers as here comes Allie White's serve. Another good one, a tough one, and that's going to drop down for the 7th straight point, And Allie White is really making an impact on this game early.
Yeah, it's great to see a big impact already from Allie White. She's got a lot of energy, and we'll get to see it later in the game. She has a lot of hustle. She's a great player to watch. And for all the young kids out there, if you are aspiring to be a libero, this is a person you'd want to look out for.
And Wittenberg has had a beautiful save there from Calvin and a good pass. Bartulovic will hit that one over the net. It'll go right off the hand of the Knights. And Wittenberg will take an 8-2 lead.
Calvin early off is looking a little rattled by this environment maybe, or this strong serve by Allie White, so we'll have to see how they respond.
And it definitely is a tough mental coming into this type of a crowd. Coming off to a strong start, but that's going to be a beautiful play there as the Knights able to hopefully stop some of that momentum that Wittenberg built up. And we're going to see number 1, the All-American into serve now from libero to libero, number 1 to number 1, Aubrey Rubel, the 5th year, looking to try to make an impact of her own here. Here's the serve. That's going to be a good one. Tyler Linkhart's going to get a good touch, and a pass from Ricketts to Black, and that's a beautiful play there. Just a quick touch pass there with the right hand, puts it to the perfect spot, and Black is able to send it over for a quick point. And I think that's a big key coming to this early, is don't let Rubel get comfortable. If you got an All-American like that who's a 5th year, got a lot of experience playing a lot of big games for this Calvin program, who's been strong for a very long time, as number 7, Ava Golem, will come in and sail that one a little high. So we'll see Cam Colahan come in for her right away, as Wittenberg will take 9-4 lead here in set number 1. And looking into this game, maybe Calvin with a little overlooking this Wittenberg team coming in, seeing the record 1-2. Calvin with some big wins, 4-0. Could play a little bit on the mental side here, but Wittenberg coming in. And one common thing, good pass there, and a big block on Tyler Linkhart from number 11, Avery Ekins. Ekins making an impact early in this one.
Yeah, Tyler Linkhart's going to be the one that Calvin's going to want to block. They know her. They've played her. They know what she's going to do. And this year, she's going to be the one they're looking out for. They're not going to let her get past.
And that's going to be a server error on number 5, Aaron Baker. Aaron Baker, the big hitter for this Calvin team. 68 kills in 4 games so far. So another player to look out for, a head-to-head matchup between her and Tyler Linkhart, 2 of the best hitters in the country. It's going to be very fun to watch. Good dig there from Linkhart with a quick return from Calvin. A good pass and a quick tap over from Ricketts, trying to catch this Calvin defense off guard. And that's going to be a big hit that's going to sail out of bounds.
That was from number 21, Gabrielle Kellogg. She has had, 53 kills in 4 sets, which is the second best on the team behind Baker.
So some two-headed monster there for Calvin to lead the way on this hitting for this team. That one's going to be sent over. Hit up from White to the middle to Linkhart, who's going to send that one a little bit high.
Looking for a touch there.
And it looked like it may have gotten tipped there. It looked like the ball rotation kind of was altered there in the middle of it. Didn't look too much on the ball path, but if you looked at the rotation of the ball going over the net, it looked like it might have been tipped. No call there, so Tigers hold on to a 5-point lead here in set number 1. That serve from the Knights is going to be handled well from Colohan. Pass up, Bartulovic's going to send it over. And the pass over, a big block for the Tigers, but Calvin able to keep it up. A quick little tap over, and the Tigers aren't ready for it in the middle of the floor. So a very gritty game so far from both teams, having to scrap together points off of a lot of errors and a lot of uncharacteristic play here from both sides, which you could expect in this type of environment. Big games all across the board to start the season. A good serve, but a very good read from Colohan there, letting that one go out
early. It's a big environment. Probably both of these teams' first game with this type of crowd. It's expected to see a little rattling in these first opening points.
Yeah, and that's definitely a big factor as Black will send that one over. Calvin tried to call out, but they're going to play it instead. That one's going to hit over. A very powerful kill there from the Knights. Black not able to handle it. But when you travel to some of these different challenges that these teams play in early on in the season, yes, you play some very good teams. As we've said, both these teams have already played 2 ranked opponents, some top 10 opponents. But you don't get to experience a crowd like this until you play at home facilities.
Yep.
And that's what we're going to see in the upcoming. And Mac Ricketts is going to make her first impact on the game. As we're going to see Bartulovic enter back into the game for Colohan. And we're going to get to see Mac Ricketts now coming to serve the ball. Mac Ricketts, one of the best passers in Division III, coming into this game with 78 assists. She's a beautiful setter on the middle of that court there, and she finds ways to manipulate that ball and pass. It almost gets, I want to say, that's called a pancake, right?
Pancake, yeah.
Pancake. I'm learning as we go on, and a very good attempt there from Ricketts to try to get that hand underneath there.
Sometimes pancakes, you can get away with it, and sometimes you can't. You got to, fib it a little, act like you got it up.
The Tigers there laying on the ground for a little bit too long, and the officials called it point Knights, so they're able to cut this lead down to 4, trying to cut this lead down after that Wittenberg run. So Tyler Linkard there with the soft tap, but a very good play from Rubel, who's able to keep it up. Linkard's going to back tap it to Ricketts. Ricketts going to send it over. Knights now with a good opportunity. Another light tap. They're really opting for that light tap in the middle there. Seeing a weakness in the Wittenberg. And that's going to be a very... Originally it was called in, but changed immediately to out. So it'll be a big point for the Knights to cut this down to a 3-point lead. And as we expect, this is a back and forth game. The Tigers are going to call their first timeout in set number 1 as they lead 13-10. And Calvin responding with a little run of their own after that big run to start this game from the Tigers. What are you seeing after this last timeout?
Well, I think Wittenberg's everybody's kind of settling down. Right now, what I'm noticing from Calvin is that they're not connecting with their sets. A lot of dinks, a lot of tips, which are working. But you expect to see a lot of big power, big swings from a team like this. Same with Wittenberg right now. You're seeing a lot of off speeds, a lot of slower shots. So let's see if these teams can settle down, get more confidence, and start taking big rips at the ball. Yeah,
and you mentioned Calvin kind of going for those softer touches. They've really tried to go for that middle area. And as a former volleyball player, what do you do differently if you're Coach Miller and this Wittenberg squad to try to take away that middle but not open up too much of the rest of the floor?
Yeah, it's a battle between either letting your setter play it and working out a system or letting your outside take it and pull her out. But either way, you got to kind of shift your defense and figure out a way to pick those up because you don't want to let that go all game and get burned on it continuously because those are points that can be easily converted into points for your team if they're picked up.
Yeah, and so we're going to see what Wittenberg and Coach Evelyn Miller drew up here after this timeout, looking to respond to this momentum switch here from Calvin. As this one will be served away from number 11, Avery Ekins. He's had a pretty solid game so far. And that one's going to be passed to the middle. Bartulovic there with the big hit, but blocked at the net from the Knights. Piper Ricketts now will send this one over. Received by Rubel. This one will be a touch over the net, just barely squeaks over. Ricketts over to Ricketts. And that one's going to be tipped up and out of bounds. So a little Ricketts to Ricketts magic there.
Yeah.
Across, and a good pass and a good placement there from Piper Ricketts. And now she's going to get to serve with a 4-point lead. Wittenberg trying to take this first set and carry, hopefully, that into the rest of the match. So Piper Ricketts now, the little jump serve. That's going to be a tough Hard serve there, but Knight's able to receive that one. And a big block, and that's just going to squeak out of bounds. So Calvin able to respond back with a point right away.
Yeah. Piper Ricketts, she has a good serve. The thing about topspin serves is if you hit it right, they're extremely hard to pass. But if you miss it a little bit, it's almost like an easy down ball. So it's that give and take of what you want to serve at your opponent.
Alyssa DeVries with the serve right there, and a big block from Calvin there is going to lead to a point. And speaking of DeVries, Alyssa DeVries, 158 assists in 15 sets played so far. So just some incredible passing from her and setting to her teammates. Serve here from DeVries. That one's going to be over and just out of bounds. So free point given away. And we've seen a little bit of that. A lot of self-inflicting wounds from both these teams early. A little bit of sloppy play, some would say. But when you get these two teams together, a very gritty and scrappy win is sometimes what it takes.
Yeah, these two teams are going to want to try to serve each other off the floor. Because if either of them are in system, it's hard to defend them. So serving tough, I think we're going to see a lot of that, and we're going to see in relation a lot of missed serves just because of that level of serving.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point to bring up. If you can take some of these big hitters out of the equation, you know, I really like your chances. So Allie White once again back up to serve as we saw her with another good serve to start it and leads to a point. Good block. Linkhart's going to set that one up to Ricketts to Black in the middle. That's going to be point Tigers after the whistle. So they're going to jump back out to a 5-point lead, 17-12 here in set number 1.
Yeah, Tigers coming out strong. Calvin looks like they're rearranging their serve-receive pattern to maybe get a better pass on White's serve.
And Allie White there just going to barely hit the net there and keep it on their side. So 17-13 now after the White serve error. So now Rubel back up to serve for this Knight squad. Only got one serve in her last time. Let's see if she can get a couple more to build some momentum. A good serve, and Tyler Linkart made a couple decisions in the middle of the air there, but she finally decided with the right one, and that one flies out of bounds. And that one's going to send Bartulovic up to serve it for the Tigers, now leading 18-13. Here's the serve from Bartulovic.
Yeah,
barely.
A lot of missed serves. Like I said, they're trying to serve each other off the floor and get those big hitters out of play. So I feel like we're all going to see a lot of quick point change, quick serving change with this back and forth of missed serves. I think that was 3 in a row already, right?
So we'll see if the Knights can break that curse here. That one's going to be sent over. That one's going to be put in play. A good receive there from White, and Ricketts with the beautiful play. Sneaks it over the net. The Knights weren't ready for it. And that's a good way to keep the ball on your side, now leading 19-14, and that's going to put the All-American Tyler Linkart up to serve. Here's the whistle on the serve, a good serve. The Knights going to be able to receive, DeVries with the pass, and that's going to be a big hit there.
And that's what happens when you're in system. You get those big swings, those big sets, and you get them put down really quick. So that's why passing and serving tough is going to be so important in this game.
So Knights trying to fight their way back into this set 1. And so far, that early run from the Tigers where they went up 8-2 and forced the early Calvin timeout has proven to be the difference, because ever since then, it's just been a back and forth. Haven't seen too many teams string together that many points. Calvin's able to sneak that one over. Linkart will pass it. That one over to Ricketts. Calvin able to keep it in. It's going to be tipped. White will receive it. Up to Ricketts. Back over to Ricketts. Quick play, Colahan's there. Ricketts to Piper, Ricketts once again, but Rubel able to keep that one, and it's going to be sent over to Piper Ricketts. Mac Ricketts now to the back row to Tyler Linkart, who's going to send it over. A good volley here between the Knights and the Tigers. It's going to be tapped over, and once again, those light hits proven to be lethal to this Tiger team so far.
Yeah, you see Calvin still going with that strategy. I feel like a lot of it's coming from number 5 Baker. She's throwing the ball over, where we're seeing number 21 Kellogg swing at the ball a little more.
Good serve there, and Colahan not able to receive it. So now the Knights fighting their way back into this one, now only trailing by 2, 19-17. And we're going to see another timeout here from Evelyn Miller as they try to close out set number 1. So a lot of back and forth here, but Calvin able to string together a couple points now and make this one a very interesting set number one, which is what we expected from both these teams. Two very talented teams, as we have allotted to a lot. And this is going to be a back and forth game. Every set we see, Tigers looking to close this one out. But Calvin not going away without a fight. What did you see right there from Calvin that seemed to work a little bit better than they did in the first couple of points?
Got those nerves out, kind of settling in. I think going into the rest of this set and the second set, I think we're going to see a little bit more of controlled volleyball, higher level volleyball than we saw in the first majority of the first set, just because teams were nervous and missing a lot of serves. I think we'll still see a lot of missed serves just because of how hard the teams are going to go for serving, but I think we'll expect to see a little bit better and higher and more controlled volleyball.
Yeah, and you kind of brought up the point of seeing a lot of soft touches. Calvin was able to get a couple bigger hits there, but this Wittenberg team still struggling to get that good pass and that really good spike that we know that this team is capable of.
Yep.
So hopefully Evelyn Miller able to string together something that is going to be able to work and put this Calvin team out of rhythm, and the Tigers are able to string together the last 6 points needed to take set number one.
Yeah. Right now, number 19 is serving.
Pass over to Black, and that's going to be a good kill attempt there, but Calvin able to keep that one.
Looks like we're having a little technical difficulties here with the shot clock.
Yeah, the shot
Pam Evans Smith Arena.
Shot clock seems to have a mind of its own right now. The scoreboard's just shut off, and now we lost.
Now we've lost power.
We have lost power to our scoreboards here in Pam Evans Smith Arena. Oh, and here
Does not look very happy right now.
The shot clock is still buzzing. Scoreboards are still flickering. Not sure what's really going on here. I've never seen this happen before in this gym, and now, once again, the scoreboards are completely dark. So in the meantime, while we try to figure out what's going on here in the technical difficulties, we are going to go to break. We will be right back. And we are back here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. We are very sorry about the technical difficulties here in the gym, but everything's back up and running. We're going to get a replay here. This one's going to be sent over. Colahan's going to receive that one. It's sent over to Ricketts, and that one's going to be hit out of bounds. Piper Ricketts fired up. 20-17 now, Tigers. So after all of that, Tigers will get the point and take a 3-point lead. Kendall Black now coming in to serve.
Yeah, there was a little bit of debate there on whether Calvin should have got the point on that one because the replay wasn't given.
And a very good
ball
serve
don't
there.
lie. 2 big
Ball
points
don't
in a
lie.
row.
Yeah, Mac Ricketts kind of just caught the ball in the middle of that all because the scoreboard was kind of making some weird noises.
Yeah.
But Tigers come out and get 2 quick points there to take a 21-17 lead here in set number 1. And we are going to get a Calvin timeout. So we're going to let both these coaches talk it over, and we'll be right back after this. So we are back after both these coaches talked it over. Amber Warner's head coach of Calvin University trying to will her squad into fighting back and getting this all-important set number 1 to set the tone in this match. Kendall Black with another very powerful and tough serve there. We'll give a good opportunity to Calvin, but that one's going to be tipped out of bounds. So Calvin with a much-needed point off the timeout there. And that'll bring in number 8, Vanessa Martinez, and we'll send number 21, Gabriella Kellogg, to serve this one away. Kellogg's serve is going to be sent over. It's going to be a big, powerful one, and that one's going to float out of bounds. Another big error there from Calvin will lead to a Wittenberg point.
So notice something different that Calvin's doing right now is instead of running the libero through their middles, it looks like they're running the libero from their outsides. So their outsides are being liberoed for in the back row.
So another server error there. So for maybe some of the fans who don't know volleyball too well, what exactly does that mean from a volleyball standpoint?
Normally a libero goes in and out for both the middles on a team because the middles are normally not primary passers. But what Calvin's doing is they're having their outsides be liberoed for, so the libero is playing back row for their outsides. And basically what that means is it's just a little weird and a little different, and they have to put DSs in for their middles in the back row.
Well put there from our analyst, Nicole, and my partner with the volleyball knowledge here as Tyler Linkhart gets a big point for the Tigers and around 2 point away from a 1-0 set advantage. As a very close serve there from Piper Ricketts. A very powerful serve with a lot of downwards movement.
Yep.
You talked about it a little bit before, and you can really see that top spin coming off the ball.
Close one here. Wittenberg's only 2 away from putting this one in the books. Let's see how this goes.
That serve, a good one. It's going to be passed over to Linkhart, who sets this one to Bartulovic. A big block at the net. White now over to Linkhart, who's going to send that one over. It's going to be tipped in. Set point now for Wittenberg, 24-20, in this action-packed set number 1.
We got a good one serving for us right now, Miss Allie White on the game point.
And Allie White's been the real tone setter here early. She set the tone, and here's the serve. Serve's going to be over. A very good serve. It's going to almost drop to the ground. Rubel, though, is going to be there. Bartulovic to Ricketts to Black, who's going to send it over. It's going to be set number 1. Kendall Black will get the finishing point. And Wittenberg will take the all-important set number 1, 25-20. But as we expected, this is a very high-thrilling, 2 very talented teams in a very close set number 1 with some controversy. We got the technical difficulties.
Yeah,
we had the muted original broadcast. But this is everything you can ask for in Division III athletics. Some very, very good play from both teams, but we only expect it to get better. You talked a lot about it. Coming to this game, it could be very nerve-wracking for both these teams. First real environment they probably have had to play in so far, and it's a very good one. This Tiger team and this Tiger fan base has really showed out for this one. But that is all for set number 1. So we're going to let these coaches talk it over, let both these teams get ready for set number 2. We will be right back after this. So we are back here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. If you missed the first set, it was a very thrilling one with Wittenberg taking it 25-20. So Tigers coming back out looking to take that very important second set as well, and Calvin looking to stay in this one. In an environment like this, you think going up 2-0 as a home team, it's almost not guaranteed to win, but you're in a very good position to win. So Calvin looking to bounce back. And after seeing that first set, what do you think Calvin has to do better in this second set to regain and get this all-important second set?
I think they really need to focus on limiting their own errors and limiting serve-receive errors, because the Tigers went on a couple of long runs that kind of killed their momentum and killed the energy from their side. So I think if they tighten up on serve-receive and get a couple more big swings to get that momentum back, I think we'll see more of a battle here.
So Mac Ricketts will serve this one away for Wittenberg to get us started here at set number 2. The number 21 team in the country in Wittenberg versus the number 4 team in the country, Calvin Knights. This one will be set up, and a big point number 1 there from number 8, Vanessa Martinez.
Yeah, and if Calvin keeps passing like that, they're going to get those bigger swings, and they're going to keep up with the Tigers.
And you see Jordan Steen come to serve this one away for the Knights. And as you talked about what Calvin needs to do better, we saw it right there on point number 1, and it worked out very well for the Knights. So Steen now gets ready to serve this one away. Here's a serve from Steen. He sent over Allie White. Didn't know if she wanted to let that one go out of bounds or not, and decided a little bit too late there.
I think if she would have let that go, I think it would have been out, but it was nothing less a great serve. But her teammates need to communicate there with her a little more.
So Steen now, after the good serve, another late decision from White. She's able to keep this one in. Piper Ricketts making a big impact on this game so far. Yeah. And we talked a little bit about her before the game. She's been playing very well, been put into a bigger role in her year number 2 for her, and she's proven to us why
she's
so far.
She's stepping up very well and taking more of a leadership role, getting a couple more sets, and she's doing great with it.
That's going to be a good serve there from her. Good receive from Steen. The pass over. Good block attempt for the Tigers, but it's going to be Aaron Baker, the big outside hitter for this Knights team. And I think being in a position that Piper Ricketts was last year with some of those senior leaders, some of those upperclassmen being her older sister, a lot of very good role models to look up to, a lot of good experienced players to learn from. So Martinez is going to serve this one away.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a very good situation for a freshman to learn from, as Bartulovic will tap that and it'll get tipped out of bounds. In this Wittenberg team, a lot of freshmen. We will see a couple of them on the floor tonight, but again, another very good learning year with a lot of very good upperclassmen, with Linkhart, Ricketts once again, and a lot of good players to learn from as these young players progress in their career. Ricketts will be there to take that one. The pass over to Bartulovic, who will send it over. That one will be sent down from the Knights as they take a 2-point lead. Calvin coming out with a little bit different energy in this one. Looking a little bit more juice than that first set. Nerves, like you said, might be kicked away now. We might be in for a very good show with some very good volleyball to come. So we're going to get a little bit of talk to the scores table here, and we are ready to play. The Knights now to send this one in. Linkhart will receive that one. The pass to Black. Oh, Linkhart with a beautiful play to come in and save that one, and now we'll hit that. But Steen able to be there for that one, as now we're going to see Aaron Baker now send that one over. Linkhart's there. Kendall Black with a big hit in the middle there. And a very good pass and kill from Kendall Black and Mac Ricketts.
Yeah.
As we're seeing a lot of back and forth here early in set number 2.
Yeah, I think an important thing to note about the Wittenberg middles, Kendall Black and Kate Colhan, is that neither of them started or really played a lot last year, obviously Kate being a freshman. But they've both came in and made a big role, especially with the Wittenbergs blocking, and they also both have powerful swings. So I don't think it's going to be long before teams respect them a little more.
Piper Ricketts with almost a very well-placed ball there, but just sneaks out of bounds, as we'll see Cameron Colahan now come in for Bartulovic. And Kendall Black has played very well so far early in this game. She seems to really be controlling that middle. We see a lot of these Calvin points coming from the outside. So Kendall really doing a good job in the middle of that court there, controlling the net and controlling the middle and keeping this Wittenberg Tiger offense running. As Colahan will receive that one. Ricketts now with a quick poke over, and that one's going to lead to a point. She's 2 for 2 now with that move tonight.
Yeah, it's definitely nice when you have Mac in the front row, because she is so good at throwing that ball deep or dropping it short and keeps your defenders not knowing when to expect the dump from the setter.
Linkhart now serves over. Very good one, but a very good receive from Rubel. That one's going to be hit into the net there. Number 21, Gabriella Kellogg. And another good thing to bring up, you talked about Piper Ricketts and Kendall, these young players being put in a bigger role this year and being thrown on the road in against some very tough teams early in the season. Linkhart's serve. It's going to receive there from Rubel. The poke over. Ricketts doing a good job of getting that one. It's Piper Ricketts with the big one. That's going to be tipped off the shoulder of Rubel. Piper Ricketts showing some power here early. But I think now being in a more comfortable environment for them, being at their home venue, at a court they're familiar, they play on almost every day at practice, can be very helpful in their process in playing some of these tougher opponents. Allie White with a beautiful dig there over to Mac Ricketts. Kendall Black now. That one's going to be blocked right back to Mac Ricketts. Over to Piper Ricketts again, who does a good job of getting it over. Rubel now as a poke over. Very good reactions there from Kendall Black. Don't let that one sneak in the middle. Allie White now. And now Linkhart to Ricketts. Quick tap there. The Knights are ready for it. Once again over to Kellogg. Tigers not able to get there. We got 6 apiece here. Some good back and forth.
Yeah.
And much cleaner volleyball being played. I know we harped on it a lot, but some longer and a lot more skillful volleys. And we know these teams are too very skilled, but we're starting to really see a very good serve there from Rubel, the All-American. Over to Kendall Black. The running attempt there. It's not going to work out, as the Knights are going to retake the lead 7-6 here at set number 2. So Rubel now once again set to serve. Here's a serve from her, another very good serve Allie White to Mac Ricketts, over to Piper Ricketts, and once again, another big point off the hit from Piper Ricketts. So we're going to see Kate Colahan come into this one and take over that middle spot for Black as she's going to head back to serve. Black now with another good serve from her. Set to the middle. Linkhart and Ricketts tried it again, but the Knights are ready for it as they've seen it a couple times now. Mac Ricketts over to Piper Ricketts once again, and the big hit's going to be sent down, and a very good attempt for the Tigers to keep it up, but unable to. So the Knights able to kind of start seeing some of these different plays from the Tigers now and really starting to play into them a little bit better here in set number 2.
Yeah, it's a little more, they're expecting things a little bit better and kind of understanding the way Wittenberg plays now. Because it is a very different play than what they saw last year.
So Alyssa DeVries now back to serve this one away, and here's a serve, a good one. Linkhart's going to push it over to Ricketts, who's going to send it back to Linkhart. A big kill attempt from her, not able to fall. Kate Colahan now with the good light touch. It's number 18, Emma Ekblaw, was not ready for that one as that sails off her hands and out of bounds. Mac Ricketts now back to serve this one away once again for the Tigers. That one a very good serve. Rubel, though, able to get it, but no communication there from the Knights. And that one's just going to drop to the floor.
The Wittenberg fans are getting into it now.
Wittenberg fans letting this Calvin team know after that self-error. As Ricketts will send it away. Another very good serve. Rubel able to get underneath it once again. The light touch handled by Piper Ricketts. Back to Linkhart, who's going to send it over. But that one, just going to sail that one a little too high and out of bounds. As Tyler Linkhart not looking like her usual self here early on in this one. Not able to get that big, powerful kill that we're used to seeing her. And we're seeing her in a little different role. We're seeing her playing that bit back middle. What can that do to teams instead of her being on the outside? What does that play a little differently for this Tiger team?
So a lot of things go into it because last year she was always on the right side with Katie Heastan and Hannah Schartz on the outside. Both graduated. They had to figure out who they were going to put on the outside this year, and Tyler, who's one of their best arms and best hitters, obviously was a good choice, as well as Piper Ricketts. But this puts Tyler into a little more of a situation just because a lot of those out-of-system sets in 4 sets get put to the outside, so she's taking more swings, and the offense isn't quite as spread as it was last year.
So Calvin able to scrap together a point there with some good net play. And again, some tough communication, not knowing whether to play that one or not. But that one's going to drop as we are going to get an 11-9 advantage in favor of the Calvin Knights as they're looking to pull away here in set number 2. So we're going to see Gabriella Kellogg now serve this one away again. Another one, and that one's going to be out of bounds. So the Tigers judged that one correctly. And although this set so far is a 1-point advantage for Calvin, it seems like they should be up a few more points. It seems like they've come out a little bit better here in set number 2. It seems almost as the roles have reversed. The Wittenbergs played a little bit of that sloppier play and haven't played as clean as they did in set number 1, but a very good serve there. And Rubel doing a very good job on serve receive. Allie White now back to the middle. Ricketts sends that one over to Rubel. Rubel now the pass over to Baker. Baker, you're going to get a whistle.
For a double there. Came out of the hands a little weird off of Mac Ricketts, which happens. It's okay.
Happens and very unusual for her. Not someone who has many errors, but it happens to the best of us sometimes. But Evelyn Miller going to call a timeout here as she can sense this momentum kind of floating towards this Calvin sideline as this game being very back and forth. Not many teams can build momentum, but with Calvin with a 2-point lead, it seems like that's all it might take here in this back and forth affair here in set number 2. What do the Tigers need to do differently coming in to try to close out in set number 2 and finish and hopefully take a 2-0 advantage?
Yeah, I think the first set the Tigers came out with so much energy and momentum, and I think Calvin was stabbing themselves in their own foot a little bit, kind of letting some errors and sloppiness get into it. And I think now that they've cleaned up, I think Wittenberg needs to play at that same level and keep the game super clean and not a lot of errors. And I think the momentum shift, now Wittenberg's kind of making their own errors and killing themselves.
Yeah, and this is it's a 5-set match, so anything can happen. This game is very well far from over, but a little unusual. Looking at this Calvin team so far, they have struggled in set number 2.
Yeah.
They have won 3-1 in 3 out of 4 of those games, and 2 out of 3 of those losses came in set number 2. One of the other set number 2, they won 27-25. So hopefully Calvin trying to break some of that set 2 curse and hopefully take it here after dropping set number 1, which they have been very strong in so far in all of their games. So it'll still be Vanessa Martinez back to serve. Vanessa Martinez been a very strong player so far for Calvin. She's played in all 15 sets so far for this Knights team. And we can see why. She's waiting to serve this one away, waiting for the whistle.
I think Calvin this set switched up their lineup a little bit. Now you can see that the libero's doing a little more traditional and playing for the middles. And we have number 21, Gabrielle Kellogg, playing in the back row, which she didn't in the first set.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Rubel off the serves here. She's been able to receive a lot of those, and it's really just set this Calvin offense up for success. When they're able to put it in play, they're a very dangerous team. Martinez now a very good serve. Over to Bartulovic. Ricketts in the middle. Now to Baker, and that one's going to be just in bounds there.
Yeah, and I think
Calvin.
That's more of what we expected to see from her, those big, powerful swings.
So Calvin now finding a little bit of rhythm here in set number 2 as Wittenberg finding themselves in a tough spot now, trailing by 4 and struggling to find some things on the offensive side of things. So Allie White now over to Linkart, and the light touch is all it takes. This is going to be tipped out of bounds and a much-needed point. And now the right person at the helm to serve it away for the Tigers, Allie White. She was the server behind that massive run to start set number 1 and the small run in the middle of set number 1. Hoping to do the same here. Good serve will come off the hands. Weird. Now Rubel's got to send it over to Black. Ricketts over to Bartulovic. The big block there almost stayed in. But I couldn't tell from our view. It's very far away up here, but it looked like it was close to that line. The official ruled it out, so the Tigers get back-to-back points. But again, that Allie White serve forced that Calvin team to not able to be in a good.
Yeah.
And
there it is
right
again.
on cue. 2 straight points now from the Tigers off some very good serving from Allie White. The first serve came off the arms weird from Aaron Baker, and that one just comes off a little bit too strong right into the net. So Allie White looking to tie this game up. Here's the set. Goes right back to that back right corner. Good pass and a good play there from number 11, Avery Ekins. Ekins doing a good job. We saw her early on in set number 1, but haven't really heard or said too much about her until now. But I think she's been a very strong player for this Calvin team. As Calvin gets a much-needed point as the Tigers fired back with 3 after trailing by 4. So 15-13 now in favor of Calvin. Linkart will receive that serve. Back over to Linkart. And there's that big arm, but a very good dig there. Ricketts to White, back to Linkart. And there it is, and she points it in that right corner. What accuracy there from Tyler Linkart to put that one in the back right corner.
It's also very important to mention that ball placement from Allie White. She's using her hands, which is not very common. You see a lot of liberos pass that, but she did a great job there throwing that over her shoulder to Tyler Linkart.
Very good pass and very good positioning there from Linkart. So that one's going to get sent over. Going to Linkart again, but again tries to go for that light touch. And this Calvin team doing a really good job at the net. Some of these soft touches now, they're doing a good job of getting hands on it and just sending it right back down onto the ground and getting free points out of it. So now we're going to see the big hitter, Aaron Baker, now to serve this one away. Piper Ricketts will receive that serve to Mac Ricketts. Back to Piper Ricketts.
Looks like the Tigers are looking for a touch there. Don't think they're going to get it.
From our point of view, it looked like maybe the ball path didn't change too much, but the rotation of that ball looked like it was changed in midair. Officials not seeing it. Allie White. A little miscommunication there with Piper Ricketts there. Looked like she was expecting Piper to maybe take that one.
Yeah,
as soon as that happened, she kind of looked at Piper. So
yeah, it looks like Coach Miller is going to take a timeout here, talk to her team a little bit, try to reel them back in and focus on the game plan.
Tigers now trailing 18-14 here in set number 2. After cutting the lead down to 1, 15-14, Calvin able to string together 3 straight points. So we will be right back after we let these coaches talk it over to their teams. And we are back here in Pam Evans Smith Arena. Calvin University Knights taking a 4-point advantage here in set number 1, trying to close it out and even this matchup 1-1. Aaron Baker will serve this one away. It's going to be a good serve to Piper Ricketts, to Mac Ricketts, to Tyler Linkart, and the big hit there. We received well from Aaron Baker. And
that was a good little crafty shot there. I don't think Allie White was expecting it to come as off speed as it was. I think she was expecting more of a driven down ball, but that was very, very crafty and very, very smart volleyball.
And once again, Calvin really seemed to be controlling the net so far here in set number 2. Not letting a lot of these hits from the Tigers hitters get over, as they're going to take a 6-point advantage. Which seems like a mountain to climb right now in set number 2 for this Tiger team, who hasn't been able to string more than a couple points together, but that is a good start, as Aaron Baker is going to put that one into the net. And that was the key to set number 1. A lot of self-errors from this Calvin team led to a lot of Wittenberg momentum and successful.
Yeah.
And that one's going to be in. Tyler Linkart, the All-American senior. If there's anyone who you need to turn to get this Tigers back in the game in set number 2, look no further than your All-American. And here she is for her second set.
That one was out, but
very
first
close.
One was so good. She's challenging these passers and making them think about it, which in Wittenberg's gym, there are bad misses, but that would be classified as a good miss.
And so far, this Calvin back row and these serves have proved to have a little difficulties receiving some of these serves, so Tigers taking advantage of that and trying to attack them, but that one a little too far. Good serve there from Rubel. She'll be in the middle there, and a good pass over and a good block attempt. Just go right off the side of the hands of Piper Ricketts.
It's something very important to note here that the Tigers are very, very good out of system. You got your 2 best hitters who you're going to feed out of system. They're doing good out of system, but right now Calvin's kind of predicting it and kind of reading it, so they're not doing as good as they normally do.
Mac Ricketts, a little bit of a tough angle pass there. Piper Ricketts able to get it over. Mac Ricketts almost trips over her teammate, Kendall Black there. She's able to keep it up.
Little scrappiness there from the Tigers, and a big kill by Calvin's middle. I think that was number 8.
Vanessa Martinez once again making a big impact at this game, showing off a very powerful arm. And it seemed like from the beginning there, Wittenberg was scrambling around. We saw Mac Ricketts almost trip over Kendall Black trying to get over to that ball. Cam Colahan with a good receive there, over to Kendall Black.
Big block there. You can definitely feel the momentum change in this gym right now. For those viewers who aren't with us, you can definitely feel it in the energy and the cheers from the team and even in the crowd.
Yeah, the energy feels drained from this gym as Calvin is now on set point, and no better person to have than Rubel to serve it away. And that one's going to be in. So Calvin able to take set number 2 in convincing fashion, 25-16 after a back and forth set number 1. And we are all evened up here and Pam Evans Smith Arena, 1-1 between these two ranked opponents. What did you see there in set number 2 that really was successful for Calvin, and what really hurt Wittenberg?
I think Calvin was doing a better job of, like I said earlier, staying in system, but they also didn't have a lot of self-errors in that set. They were making more of their serves. They were keeping it clean and keeping it consistent, which they were not in the first set whatsoever. But the momentum changed. You could feel it. Wittenberg didn't feel as excited and as, like, pushing and driving as they did in the first set, and their serve receive just wasn't there that set. So if they can bump their serve receive up, they'll be able to keep up with this now momentum and driven Calvin team.
Yeah, it felt like Calvin, everything Wittenberg was doing, Calvin was ready for it. It felt like Calvin just had everything in control of that set from point number 1 to point 25. Calvin was in rhythm. They had their attacking team, their attacking side working very well. Defense was very well. Overall, just a very good set from Amber Warner's team. So we will be right back as we wait set number 3. And we are back here for set number 3 with everything even up here at Pam Evans Smith Arena. Calvin's really getting into rhythm there in set number 2. Wittenberg looking to respond here in set number 3, but it really feels like we haven't really seen that fluent Wittenberg offense yet. It really feels like Wittenberg hasn't been able to get into system.
Yeah.
Still just seems like a lot of scrappy points that they're trying to put together, a lot of broken plays. And Calvin seemed to really get the system there in set number 2. We saw a lot of very good receives, a lot of very good sets, and a lot of very powerful hits, which is what we expect from that team, which we didn't see so much in set number 1, which is why Wittenberg was able to take advantage and take set number 1. But Calvin, hoping to carry that momentum in set number 3, should be a very exciting set. Looking forward to it here in Pam Evans Smith Arena between these two ranked opponents.
Well, I'm excited to see how Wittenberg responds after dropping that set kind of with a bigger margin, to see if they battle here or if they kind of fall apart. And my hopes are they battle.
Yeah, and this is a big moment for Evelyn Miller and her younger team that she has for this year. In the face of adversity, how can you respond? And that's a good way to start, is get some easy points. You know, if we reference it to basketball, sometimes you just need that free throw to get you going. Something easy, something to just get you back into rhythm. You need to see something fall, see a point go up on the scoreboard, take that lead. And now you got Allie White to serve it away, who's been very successful so far. It's going to be a good pass. Allie White.
Yeah.
Looked like that one might have been out of bounds, but a tough play. And I couldn't imagine being some of those volleyball players and putting some of those reaction situations where you got to react quick. Might be out of bounds, might not. It's coming so fast. I don't know. I'm just going to try to hit it.
Yeah.
So you can't blame Allie White in that situation.
Hit in the head many, many times playing volleyball in my life. It's all about reaction, and sometimes it gets the best of us.
And that run right there, just barely out of bounds from Bartulovic. And I think two players you need to try to get going here is Bartulovic and Linkhart.
Yeah.
Two of some of your powerful hitters. You haven't seen too much. You saw Linkhart get one big one there in set number 2, but so far not too many. Another free point given away from the Knights. But you haven't really seen too much. There's been a lot of Piper Ricketts, Kendall Black, Mac Ricketts, Allie White serves. But you need some of these big hitters that you expect. This is what, this is what sells the tickets, these big hitters.
Mm-hmm.
But right now,
we're not seeing it.
Haven't been able to get it going, yeah.
Lucky up there. Able to get that over.
Beautiful play there from the Tigers. Allie White now dives to the ground to get that one back to Piper Ricketts, who's just going to pop that one up in the air. Big hit there from Baker. It's going to get tipped. White's going to get it. Mac Ricketts and Tyler Linkhart now as Tigers scrambling all over the floor, hoping to get back in rhythm, and they're just not able to.
Yeah. Calvin needed to capitalize on those easy free balls earlier in that rally, though, but Wittenberg had a lot of miscommunications in that rally and a lot of players running into each other going for the same ball.
Yeah, that's the big thing that I noticed. You saw Piper Ricketts and Allie White there both go for a ball. Mac and Ty both go for one. And the Knights able to capitalize. So we're going to see Martinez back in. Very good job from Ricketts and Allie White there to keep that one up. But a good opportunity for the Knights, and they're going to take advantage. And there's the big hitter, Erin Baker, showing why she had 68 kills in only 4 games coming into this one.
Yeah, and you can definitely feel the energy and the calmness that the Calvin Knights have right now. They feel like they have this game, they have this under control, but we're not seeing it as much from the Wittenberg Tigers.
And here's Linkhart now, and there it is. There's the big, powerful hit, and the blockers at the net from the Knights not able to control it and corral it, and that one falls to the ground as now she will be sent back to serve. And she's been pretty solid on the serving things so far.
Yeah, Tyler Linkhart, we always talk about her hitting, but her serve and serve receive is also just as good.
And there's Mac Ricketts once again, just sneaking that one over. And I like the way she spaces it out. Mm-hmm. For a lot of players, if they have something like that working, they're going to try it consistently. But she waits every 10 points or so and then brings it back out, throws the team off, and beautiful block there from Kendall Black.
Yeah, and I think with Mac Ricketts, it's important to note, last year she was also an All-American. She wasn't first team like Tyler, but she was an All-American and rightfully deserved, and I think this year we'll see that again from her.
Yeah, very, very key piece to that Wittenberg team last year with all those big hitters like we talked about, Katie Houston, Tyler, Hannah. Somebody needed to get them the ball.
Yeah.
And Mac Ricketts is one of the best in the business, and she has shown us why tonight. She's very sneaky, very good at setting, and one of the key pieces of this Tiger team. And if they're going to have success this year, she's going to be a big reason to it. Allie White will receive that serve to Ricketts over to Black, and that one's going to be sent over, and a very good play there from the Knights to keep that one in. That's going to be a send over. Tigers now with a good opportunity. Black once again will tap that one over, but the All-American Ruble is right there. Good block attempt from Black there, but not able to keep it in bounds.
This game is very close. It's important to note the score is 6-5, but it does not feel like that in this gym right now. It feels like Calvin is leading by much more.
Ricketts now over to Piper. Ricketts is going to send it over. Good play right there from Kellogg. That one's going to be sent over. Colahan corrals it. Kendall Black now is just going to poke that one over, and a little bit of a panic touch there as the ball got sent right back to her, and is going to punch that one out of bounds. But again, we talked about Calvin kind of getting some of those soft hit free balls, taking advantage of it, and talking about Wittenberg needing to take advantage of it. Still haven't been able to really take advantage of it here in set number 3. Seen some good plays, but this net play right now from Calvin is really proven to.
Called a double there on Calvin Setter. Gives the Tigers a little bit of a bailout. Now going to send Kendall Black back to the serving line.
And I'm really glad to have you broadcast with me because some of these signals I'm still learning. I very do enjoy calling volleyball, watching this Wittenberg volleyball team. They're a very exciting team to watch, but I'm still very much learning some of the terms.
This one, they were in the net. They were in the
net.
In the net,
okay. In the net.
In the
Double,
net.
Okay. We're learning slowly but surely, and we're going to learn over the course of this year as we call many more of these Wittenberg volleyball games. As Calvin's going to take an 8-6 advantage. The serve over. Cameron Colahan's going to take that one. Ricketts over to Ricketts. She's going to send that a good play there from Baker. Linkart just not able to get to it. Allie White, the very good effort, diving effort across the floor. Just not able to get to it. And Calvin seems to be firing at all cylinders right now. They're having a lot of fun on the bench. They have really good composure, but really good energy at the same time on the court, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they're going to force another timeout out of Evelyn Miller here in set number 3.
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of the momentum stay with Calvin. I thought it would be a big switch, being on their home court side, kind of getting the crowd into it, but we haven't seen that yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the remainder of this set.
Yeah, right now the crowd really taken out of it. Feels like a lot of energy's on this Calvin sideline. So we'll let Evelyn Miller try to coach up her Wittenberg Tigers squad and hopefully get this squad riled up and back into this game. We will be right back after this. We are back, and Aaron Baker starts it out with a big point for this Calvin team. And Wittenberg really struggling to find something. They just need to find something that works. And so far, that first set, it was a lot of those scrappy points, but they're unable to find it here in the last 2 sets. Piper Ricketts now with a good hit and a tough play, but Baker able to keep it up. This one will be sent over. Colahan now will send it to Ricketts, who will poke it over. It's now a good play there from number 21, Gabriella Kellogg.
Yeah, it's
definitely
a smart play.
Yeah, we're really starting to see these big names for this Calvin team. Kellogg, DeVries, Baker, and Rubel really start to take over this game.
Yeah.
So it'll be Baker once again to serve. Another good serve. Colahan will get it to White. Another little bit of a miscommunication there for the Tigers. Proved to be difficult, and right now the middle of the floor seems to just be wide open for Calvin as they're going to take a 6-point advantage.
Yeah, we need to see this Tiger team start battling back, getting some big points to swing the momentum in this game.
It seems to be a lot of just looking around rather than just taking that accountability and just moving on to that next point. They seem to be focused a little bit too much. As Cameron Colahan now will just send that one over. Calvin now with another good opportunity will be poked over by Kellogg. Cam Colahan now to Ricketts, to Piper Ricketts, but a good block at the net from this Calvin team. Caitlin Colahan now will poke that one over. And a big swing there from number 25, Jasmine Savoy. Savoy getting some action now. And another big piece that we talked about a little bit, but this net play from Calvin right now is very impressive. They're getting a lot of good blocks. I'm very curious to see this block stat line here after this next set, because right now Calvin seems to be controlling the net. Matt Cricket's trying to get a free point for this Tiger team, but Calvin is all over it. And what a big hit there from Avery Ekins, as they're going to take an 8-point lead and another quick timeout from Evelyn Miller. And the wheels seem to be falling off here from the Tigers here in set number 3. Not able to find much on the offensive side of things, and Calvin just in a super smooth rhythm, know exactly where they want to go, and they're getting right to it, and they're executing at a very high level.
Yeah, I think at first this Calvin team was a little thrown, a little taken off guard by the crowd and the environment. I don't know if they expected it, but it seemed to turn around for them. So hopefully the Wittenberg team can use this at timeout to start focusing on the game plan again and battling back.
So once again, we are going to let Coach Evelyn Miller and Coach Amber Warners talk to their teams, and we will be right back right after this.
And we're back, and it looks like we have a substitution for the Tigers. Now in is freshman number 6, Sam Fincham, giving Piper Ricketts a break.
And if you recognize that name, Sam Fincham, daughter of former Wittenberg football legend here, Coach Fincham, as most know him as, and that's going to be a big point here from the Tigers out of the timeout. Coach Fincham, one of the most successful coaches of all time here at Wittenberg, had a lot of big-time success, and I had the pleasure of being coached by him my freshman year.
Yeah.
He's an amazing dude, and we wish him the best in retirement. So if he is listening, or if he is here in the stands back at his home venue, just wanted to let him know how much he's appreciated here in the Tiger Nation for all he's done for the Tiger football program. We're going to get a little
confusion here.
A little condensation maybe on the court.
Oh, I think the ref is talking. Maybe both.
I saw Allie White out there and Tyler Linkhart wiping the floor. But now we're going to get Mac Ricketts to serve it away, down 7, needing a little bit of a run. That's going to be a good serve. What a play there from Allie White off the ground. It's going to be a big play. Kellogg down, the big block.
Maybe that's something to get the Tigers going right there, that big hustle play from Allie White.
And we heard the roar from the crowd, and a beautiful play from Allie White on the original touch to get down and get her hand underneath it. And then a quick touch, and then another poke off the ground from Allie White. Kept that one over the net. So pass now. And that's a tough one to see if you're Evelyn Miller there. Seemed to be a little bit of a just soft panic touch from the Knights there to get it over the net. And no one's there to receive it for the Tigers. So now Calvin will jump back up to 15-8, and it'll put Aubrey Rubel back to serve this one once again. So Rubel now will send it over. A good serve to Fincham. It's going to go to Ricketts now, and Colahan will poke that one over. Back to Kellogg. And a beautiful dig there from Mac Ricketts. As Tyler Linkhart, you heard that scream no all the way from up here. Good communication from that senior. And we talked about it. We've seen a little bit of some miscommunication here in set number 2 and 3 from the Tigers. And, that's what it's got to take. It's got to take your senior big hitter and All-American to maybe, show these freshmen, some of these younger, inexperienced players that communication in a game like this is going to go a very long way. So Ricketts now with the big serve. That one's just going to be poked over. Mac Ricketts able to keep that one up. Colahan now over to Linkhart. The big touch. That one almost falls, and that one's going to be out of bounds.
Yeah, Tigers starting to come back here, cutting this lead. It's now down to 5 points.
So Wittenberg out of the timeout, really finding some energy, finding some big, scrappy points once again. But that's what seems to work for them so far here tonight. So Piper Ricketts back to serve once again. Toss up. Good serve to Baker. Just going to poke that one up to the middle to Kellogg. Piper Ricketts with the big dig to Mac Ricketts. Over to Linkhart, who's going to light tap it. The Knights are all over. That one's going to be poked back. Piper Ricketts once again all over the backside there. Tyler Linkhart with the big hit. Rubel's there to receive it in the middle. And a very good job from Kate Colahan to keep that one up. Allie White's just going to poke it over. Rubel now to the middle to Savoy, and it's going to sneak over. Linkhart with good recognition. Piper Ricketts, very good play there to run from that back line to try to make it.
Yeah, it feels right now like the Tigers are kind of scrambling to keep these points alive, not playing as clean as we saw in either of the first 2 sets. So hopefully they can kind of find their rhythm again.
But one thing I have noticed, it feels like they may not be visibly showing that energy, but it feels like they got that pep back in their step. You see them running around. Piper Ricketts on the back line there on that set, or that volley seemed to really be all over the place, running around, making big plays. As Colahan will send that one into the net. Good pass, just a little bit of missed timing there. As Calvin now will regain a 7-point lead. And this will send Alyssa DeVries to serve it again. Allie White, the good receive. Over to Bartulovic. That one will be blocked once again at the net. Gabriella Kellogg is very impressive at the net. She's getting a lot of big-time blocks.
We're going to see a sub here. Number 23, Kaylee Worcester. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. I think it was right. But we're going to see her coming in now for Bartulovic.
And Worcester, another one of those players we saw kind of at the end of the season get some playing time for this Tiger team. Another one of those promising hitters that Evelyn Miller seems to have on this team. It just seems to be a constant refresh of hitters with this Wittenberg Tigers team. We're constantly bringing in some big-time hitters, as this is Tyler Linkart now with a big-time kill opportunity, but Rubel once again with a big-time dig. Mackrick is now back to Tyler Linkart. She's going to get that one tipped. Ooh, never mind. I thought it was tipped. It was just out of bounds.
Just out, just slightly out. She had a good angle on it, but just missed it by a little bit.
DeVries will send that one over once again. Allie White doing a good job of receiving that one. And there's Caitlin Colahan. A very good pass. Got the timing right on that one, and she's going to get the point. And now we'll see Kendall Black back into the game to hopefully scrape together a couple points here and try to fight their way back here in set number 3, as they are in trouble of going down 2-1 here on their home court.
Yeah. I think the floor is getting a little sweaty on both sides. It's been 2 long sets, almost 3, and I think the players are kind of maybe using it as an icing tool a little bit to give those servers time to think about it. I've been very impressed tonight with the Calvin Libero Rubel serve receive. She's on the money, getting everything right to their setter, doing a great job with that.
She is as good as advertised. She is a very talented player, and we've seen her handle a lot of big-time hits, handle a lot of big-time serves, tough serves that a lot of people most of the time would have a tough time handling it. Right there, good example, sliding knee, still puts it in a perfect spot. But Allie White on the ground once again, gets that one. Worcester with a good hit across the court. Rubel now will just send that one over. Ricketts now over to Tyler Linkart, who will send that one over. It's a good volley between these two teams. That one's just be tapped over. Worcester poke it up in the air. Ricketts now to Kendall Black. And Kendall Black immediately, as she steps back into the game, makes an impact. And she has been very successful.
Yeah, but this is where we need Allie White to go on that serving run again. We saw it in the first set. Let's hope we can see it again, because that'll be big time here.
So Allie White back to serve. As you said, here's the serve from her. It'll be sent over. Good serve. Kellogg able to receive it well. Tough play. Black and Linkart able to get hands on it. Worcester will just send it over. Rubel now. And that's going to be a big hit there from Emma Ekblaw.
Now back to service Kellogg. We've seen her do great things from the front row this set, kind of come alive.
So Kellogg now serves it over, and Linkart will get a good opportunity, but Rubel's there once again. Back over, Ekblaw once again with 2 big kills back-to-back.
Yeah.
And this Calvin team seems to just, we talked about some of these Wittenberg hitters, but this Calvin team seems to have very talented hitters all over the board. No matter who they sub in, they have very powerful hitters. This one's going to be sent over by Kellogg. Good receive there from Piper Ricketts. Over to Mac Ricketts to Linkart. Will be sent back over to this Calvin team. Baker with a good opportunity gets tipped at the net. Piper Ricketts now will send that one over. That one sneaks in the top left corner of the court there.
We're going to see Cam Colahan go back to serve for the first time this game. A lot of the times they'll put a serving sub or someone to serve in for her, so hopefully she can come alive and get these Tigers some points.
Colahan's serve now will be sent over to Baker. In the middle now to Martinez. Allie White doing another good job to find that one. Linkart now will get that one over, and back-to-back points now from the Tigers. So very good job, and once again starts from Allie White getting on the ground, making a beautiful effort there to dive and pop that one up, keep it in play. And she, we talked about it a little bit before the game. We talked about her being one of the biggest keys to success for this Tiger team.
Yeah.
And she, she's been very good. When this Tiger team has been very good, it's come off the play of her.
Yeah.
Some of her serves, the way she's playing on receive, whatever it may be, she's been very good.
Big serve there by Cameron Colahan.
And Cameron Colahan, it was a very good serve when Aubrey Rubel has trouble receiving it there. But we're going to get a timeout here from Amber Warners as the Tigers able to string together 3 straight points off the serving from Cameron Colahan as they only trail by 5 here in set number 3. Tigers trying to crawl their way back into this one after some very tough play there from the end of the second set and the beginning first half of this set number 3. So Wittenberg hoping to shift some of this momentum and hopefully keep it going here at the end of set number 3 and beginning of set number 4. And we will be right back after this short break. So Cam Colahan back to serve once again for this Tigers team, trailing 21-16 here in set number 3, a very big and important set. Tigers able to find something here towards the end of set number 3 and looking to keep that going here. Colahan's serve will be sent over, a tough one that's just going to sail a little too long. And that's a tough one if you're Evelyn Miller looking to, fight your way back into this set number 3. With those self-errors. So Vanessa Martinez now who's at another one of those Calvin Knights who's had a very impressive game back to serve. Good serve will be received by Allie White. Pass over to Black. She's just going to try to poke that one in the middle and find an opening. Not able to. Off the scoreboard. It was that one. It's Cameron Colahan's dig from a very powerful attempt. Skying off the scoreboard.
The Knights capitalized on that free ball sent. It was a lucky play there. It was a great dig by Colahan, but overall the free ball kind of gave the Knights the advantage on that one.
So now the Knights 2 points away from taking set number 3. Looking to keep things going here with Vanessa Martinez. Here's the serve from Martinez. It'll be sent over. Allie White with another good receive. Mac Ricketts now to Tyler Linkhart. That one's going to get blocked down to the ground. And now Calvin taking another 24-16 lead, just like set number 2. And looking to close it out in the same fashion.
Looks like the floor is getting real slippy there because Kendall Black kind of slipped there and Matt couldn't set her because she was unfortunately on the floor. But there's a big block there against Linkhart.
Vanessa Martinez now. Here's her serve. That one will be over. White now to Mac Ricketts to Kendall Black. She'll poke that one over and get a point.
Yeah.
So going to need some magic here if they want any chance in coming back in set number 3. As the Tigers will send Tyler Linkhart back to serve this one away. Here's the serve. Good serve now to Baker. Baker crawls that one. It'll be set in the middle. That one will be called tip ball.
Looks like they're going to give a touch to the Calvin Knights, and that's set goes to them.
So a little bit of a tough call there if you're Evelyn Miller, considering the way some of those calls have gone early on in the game, not going in favor of the Tigers, and that one going in favor of Calvin, which gives them set number 3 and the 2-1 advantage. So set number 3, a lot like set number 2, a lot of Calvin controlling the tempo, controlling the way this game is going, and just really good play from them. Not too many of those self-errors anymore, as Wittenberg's still sloppy. A lot of mishaps, a lot of errors, miscommunications. What's it going to take from Evelyn Miller's squad to, come back into this one and hopefully find a way to make this thing a 5-set match?
I think it's going to take just consistency and energy from this Wittenberg team. I think we need to see a little more slowing the pace of the game down from the Tigers. I think right now they're scrambling to keep up with this Calvin team and get balls back over the net. Where I think if they just play their game, dig high, pass high, they'll be able to set their big hitters and maybe capitalize on some things that they haven't been able to in the last 2 sets.
Yeah, very well said. And you can kind of not expect that, but it's a lot of things that happen with kind of these inexperienced teams coming into a game like this in front of your home crowd. Talked about that helping them, but this is the harmful part of it too. You want to get sped up. I think it just comes down to you got to trust your skill. These are all very talented players. You got to trust your skill, trust your game plan, trust your teammate. Go out there and just play. Have fun. These are the fun moments. It's when all the hard work pays off. It's when you just got to let it all pay off. So we'll let these teams prepare for set number 4, and we will be right back after this short break. So we are back and getting ready here for set number 4 here at Pam Evans Smith Arena with the Calvin University Knights taking a 2-1 set advantage after set number 3. And Wittenberg looking to try to stay alive here in this top 25 matchup and find a way to force a set number 5 here. But Tigers looking a little out of sorts here in the last couple of sets after taking a big set number 1. Calvin able to respond very well in sets number 2 and 3, and really taking a lot of the energy out of this crowd, taking a lot of the momentum and shifting it to their side, and really just playing very clean and very well played volleyball so far. So Mac Ricketts will be sent back to start this one and serve it away. As we're going to get the floor wiped off a little bit. We've seen a lot of bodies on the floor tonight from both these teams, two very scrappy and hustling teams trying to go after every ball. And, this is the price you got to pay sometimes, a little bit of sweat on the floor, whatever it may be. Nonetheless, the floor is cleaned up. We are ready to go here in set number 4. Here's the whistle. Mac Ricketts to send it away. Here's the serve. It's a good serve. Rubold able to receive it. That one's going to be sent over, and we're going to get a whistle and a double. And that's going to be a point Calvin.
We've seen Ricketts do that a couple times tonight. Very uncharacteristic for her.
That one's going to be sent out by Gabriella Kellogg. So another server error from this Calvin squad, and this one will send now Tyler Linkhart. So Fincham now, a little bit of a heavy touch there, and that one will be sent out of bounds. And that'll bring number 11, Avery Ekins, back into the game for the Knights. Ekins kind of flying under the radar a little bit on this team, but doing a very good job so far in tonight's game, controlling the middle, doing a very good job with a couple big hits and some big-time blocks.
Yeah, and in that last set, we saw the hitting percentage of Calvin go way up, and Wittenberg's just stayed even. Calvin hit 500, and Wittenberg just hit even. They hit not as good, but in the first set where Wittenberg won, they hit 200, and Calvin only hit about 100. So it's all about the hitting here.
Kendall Black will send that one into the net. We talked a little bit about there at the end of set number 3. Some of those calls not going in the way of Wittenberg in terms of the tips, but we finally got one there here in set number 4. So Calvin will take a 3-2 advantage. And we, like you talked about the hitting, we haven't seen too many clean hits so far from this Tiger team.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of big, powerful hits. Not a lot of hits finding the ground.
Yeah.
That's the big point. Is hits finding the ground. Linkhart now will receive that one. Fincham tries to get that one over, unable to. These big blockers at the net for this Calvin team. Just doing such a good job so far all tonight of finding ways to get their hands on that ball and just doing a very good job of keeping it in play. That's the big thing when you're playing at the net. I feel like it's just trying to find a way to keep it in play.
Good swing there by Fincham, just dug up by Kellogg. Great dig by Tyler Linkhart.
Good effort there for Piper Ricketts to try to keep that one play, just unfortunately a little bit out of reach. And Calvin now jumping out to a 3-point lead early here in set number 4. This one will be sent over. Linkhart to receive it. Over to Piper Ricketts. Another good attempt there from Fincham, but a very good block once again from this Calvin team. Now taking a 6-2 advantage, looking to improve to 5-0 on the year. You know, they're really showing us why they are ranked number 4 in the country here tonight. Rubel now will send it to Baker. And a little bit of a miss hit there, trying to send it over, and some scrambling from the Calvin team. We haven't seen it too much in sets number 2 and 3. We saw it a little bit in set number 1, and Wittenberg was able to take advantage of it. But Calvin playing very clean in those last couple of sets, so a very uncharacteristic hit there, especially from number 5, Aaron Baker.
Yeah. We've seen her and Kellogg really come alive from that first set, so I think that's where most of the Calvin success has been with those two. Oh.
So Jasmine Savoy tries to get a quick hit there, sends it right into the net. And, you know, like you talked about, Baker and Kellogg coming alive, and that's where their successes come from all year. You know, they're leading their team in kills respectively, and 2 very impressive numbers. As Caitlin Colahan now in the middle there, finding a way to get that ball over. It gets tipped out of bounds. Tigers get a much-needed 2 points back to try to stay close in this one. I think the key in this one is to try to keep it a close game and not let Calvin string together a big run like they did the last couple sets. And a very good serve there from Cam Colahan certainly helps. Savoy now will send that one to Piper Ricketts. Piper Ricketts will send it back over to Rubel. Big hit there from Kellogg, but a very good job from Cameron Colahan to keep that one over. Now Kate Colahan sends that one. Some very good play from both teams here to just keep it over, and Piper Ricketts is going to send it over.
Yeah, we can feel some of the momentum shifting back to this Tiger team as Cameron Colahan's been going on this serving run. And it's weird that we call her Cameron because I'm so used to calling her Cam.
And Cam, she not only had a very good serve there, she had that very big dig off a big-time Kellogg hit. And the broadcaster's jinx comes into full effect right there.
Sorry,
we shouldn't
Cam.
have said anything. We're very sorry, Cam. You know, you can blame that one on us. We will take full blame for it. But this will send Aaron Baker now back to serve this one away. Very good serve there. Mac Ricketts doing a very good job to keep that one in play. As that one's going to hit the, what's it called?
It hit the antenna. That was a little long, and Kellogg tried to keep it alive, but she just pushed it into the antenna, and the ball can't touch the antenna.
Yes, I do know that. Okay. I just didn't know what it was called, if it had a fancy name. I was just going to say pole, but antenna makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and the ball can't hit outside the antenna on the net either. That's something that a lot of people don't know.
So Wittenberg was able to tie it up after that antenna hit.
Yeah, and looks like we have a new sub, number 7, Ava Gollum. She's a freshman, so let's see what type of impact she can make here for this Tiger team.
And I really like this from Evelyn Miller. It's still very early on in the season. As fun it would be to beat a team like Calvin early on in the season. You know, it's a very, very close play there from Mac Ricketts. Tried that little behind the head flick and catches Calvin team off guard, which it did, just unfortunately a little too far out of bounds. But back to what I was talking, I really like this play. Get some of these freshmen that you see the potential in them joining the rotation.
Yeah.
Get them and get some experience early on in the season. That's only going to help them going deeper into this run and going deeper into this season, because you really do expect this Tiger team to, make a run at this North Coast Athletic Conference. They're probably the favorites. I believe they were the favorites to win the conference going into the year after coming off of a regular season and a tournament sweep last year.
Yeah, off topic, but I watched Denison and Hope play earlier today, and Denison looked very good. So I'll be interested to see Wittenberg and Denison play this year.
And it's always very competitive. The championship game last year in the tournament was hosted here, which was a 5-set match with Wittenberg coming out on top. That was a very fun environment to be in, and some miscommunication there from Cam Colahan and Mac Ricketts, and that will lead to a point for Calvin.
Yeah.
But Alyssa DeVries now will come back into the game to serve this one away. DeVries now will send this one away and send it over.
Good pass there by Gollum. Coming into this game fresh. Looks like they're going to call a touch, and it's going to go the Tigers' way.
As we're going to see Fincham now enter back into the game. And I will say I've been pretty impressed with Sam Fincham so far. She's got a couple of good hits.
Yeah.
She's looked pretty comfortable out there. Doesn't look like she's a freshman out there playing in a big-time home game to early and start this season.
I think Coach Miller is just trying to keep the game mixed up, keep Calvin on their feet. But that's something that Calvin does well, is tip right into the middle and throws the Tigers off. Because now that they're mixing in the swings and the tipping, I think it's kind of pulled the Tigers back on their heels a little bit to dig those harder hit balls. So now they're mixing it up and throwing in those tips.
Kellogg's serve. Mac Ricketts now to Sam Fincham, and a beautiful touch there. Will drop it in the middle. And I really like how you bring that up because, we saw in the first set, Calvin was relying on that little soft touch to find their offense and find some points. And we didn't really see it too much in set number 2 and 3. So I really do like the balance showing from Amber Warner's team. They go with it for majority of set number 1, and set number 2 and 3. They go for more of that systematic offense, big hits, and that's going to be a big point there from the Tigers off the hit from Kendall Black.
Yeah, I think this set we're going to see the Tigers fighting to stay alive. I think now it's do or die time. They got to keep this. They got to keep this game and got to pick it up to send it to a 5th.
And I'm really liking what I'm seeing so far in the middle of set number 4 here. Piper Ricketts doing a good job of getting that one. Sam Fincham will go over to get that one, and a very good hit once again. But here, big block right there from Fincham, and Black at the net. That one's just barely going to get over, and it's going to be hit over.
Yeah, now the Tigers are taking their first lead of set 4. So I feel like we can feel the momentum and the crowd getting back into it and believing in this Tigers
100% as Tigers take the lead. You can really feel that energy shifting. And maybe just this fresh legs and fresh energy from these new subs coming in, as that one's just going to barely squeak over the edge. Calvin now going to have number 8, Vanessa Martinez, go back to serve this one. And Vanessa Martinez has been very successful from a serving standpoint. And a couple of those long runs, she was at the helm of it. Kendall Black just barely out of bounds. A very well executed set right there from the Tigers, just barely out of bounds as Calvin able to regain the lead. Martinez now will send this one away. That's a very good serve. Comes off the hands of Allie White a little bit awkwardly. That one will fly out of the back of the court and will give Calvin a 2-point lead.
Yeah.
And that will force Evelyn Miller to call her first time out here in set number 4.
I'm not surprised she's calling it early, knowing that this game cannot get away from them. This is a must-win situation, so I'm not surprised to see the early timeout from Miller. I think it's a good idea to kind of reel him back in before it gets too far out of reach.
Yeah, an idea. I really like that point you brought up. Feels like a very well-timed timeout from Evelyn Miller. in the previous couple sets. They've kind of waited a little bit to that 4 or 5 point difference before she called that timeout. And this must-win set, 2-point difference. Don't let this one get out of hand. Keep it close. You know, you guys have seemed to won those scrappy points when it comes to this type of set. So keep it scrappy, keep it close, and let your team and this talent figure it out on its own. So a good timeout here from Evelyn Miller, and we will be right back here in 30 seconds. So we are back. Vanessa Martinez to send it away once again for the Calvin Knights, and she will. Another good serve. And that one will go off Allie White once again and out of bounds. So Vanessa Martinez seems to be kind of the catalyst so far for this Calvin team in this game so far.
Yeah, and Allie White's been doing a great job on serve receive this game. I think right now she may be a little tired, just getting kind of out of it, but she bounces back great there with that pass.
Baker now.
Big swing there. I think that's the Baker that has the 68 kills that we were expecting to see.
Not only was it a hard hit ball, it was perfectly placed on the back line there. Stays in, and a big 2 points out of the timeout for this Calvin squad. And Vanessa Martinez.
Big break there for the Wittenberg Tigers.
Big break for the Tigers, and a very rare error there from Vanessa Martinez. So we'll see Kate Colahan enter back into the game, trailing by 3 here in set number 4. Kendall Black now will send this one away. That one's going to be sent over, and that one's going to find its way down. Emma Ekblaw finding a couple big hits here for this Calvin team in the last 2 sets. Didn't see too much of her in set number 1 and 2, but finding a spot and really taking advantage of it here in the last couple sets as Calvin tries to improve to 5-0 on this early season. Mac Ricketts now over to Piper Ricketts. Rubel able to control that one. Over to Baker. That one's going to be blocked at the net.
Kept alive. Wow.
Mac Ricketts now to Sam Fincham.
They were in the net.
We're going to get a point, Wittenberg. And if you're Evelyn Miller, I think you love that. You have your 2 freshmen, Colahan and Fincham, going up to get that one. And then the point comes right after a Sam Fincham hit there. Although it was a whistle, it was still a very, very good hit.
Yes, it was.
So Cam Colahan back into serve. That one will be sent over.
Wow, scrappy play there.
Very good play from the Tigers to keep that one up. Once again, Baker's going to send that one down, and now she is really starting to showcase her power here in set number 4.
Getting past Allie White is not easy, and she's been doing it.
And one of the most impressive things, too, is her vertical. She seems to just float off the ground and hang in the air for a very long time. Allie White doing a good job receiving that serve over to Piper Ricketts, who sends that one over to Baker. This one's going to go over to Kellogg now. Is just going to float that one over. Colahan is ready for that one. Back to Piper Ricketts, who's going to send that one over. Baker doing a good job of receiving that one once again, but no one is ready. Oh, it's a live ball.
Oh, that's a late whistle there by
very late whistle.
Referee.
A very frustrating one if you're
Wittenberg
and Evelyn Miller.
She's going to call a timeout now.
So we're going to get another timeout after
an interesting play there.
Still trying to figure out what happened. They never really gave us any signals.
I think the ball was down.
I think it was too. That's why what I started to call it as, but then play kept going on. But nonetheless, Calvin starting to pull away here in set number 4, looking to close this game out, leading the Wittenberg Tigers 19-14. We will be right back after this short break. So we are back here in Pam Evans Smith Arena for this top 25 matchup between the Wittenberg Tigers, the host team, and the visiting Calvin Knights at the NCAC-MIAA Crossover Challenge. This challenge features 6 teams, 3 from these 2 conferences, some very good competition, and right now we have seen a good one here tonight with Calvin leading this Wittenberg team 2-1, looking to close this one out, up 5 here in set number 4. Linkart back into the game. We'll send that one over. Baker gets that one back. But number 11, Avery Ekins, has done a very good job in the middle of the floor. She's kind of just gone in there, done a lot of this dirty work, and done a very good job at it.
Props there to Calvin Setter, keeping that one alive with that one-hand set, perfectly placed, was very good.
And a very good serve there from Baker, doing it all here tonight. And a good block from Mac Ricketts. Baker now over to Kellogg. Colahan receives that one. Mac Ricketts now to Caitlin Colahan, who times that one up perfectly. Some play at the net, unable to keep it up. Good effort there for the Knights, but good little bit of patty cake there at the net, back and forth at the top of the net with the Tigers prevailing. Good effort from both teams as now Piper Ricketts will get the task of serving this one away, trailing by 5 to the number 4 ranked Calvin Knights. Piper's serve will be sent over, received well from Rubel. Kellogg now with a big block from Ricketts and Colahan. Send this one a little bit higher, and we're going to get a tip call. There's another call questioned by a lot of these Wittenberg fans here in the stadium. And
I do think that one.
It looked like it was tipped. Once again, I've talked about it a lot. It looked like that ball rotation, although it didn't change direction. It did look like that rotation was messed with just enough to catch the official's eyes. Calvin gets the point, and now they get Rubel to serve and hopefully close this one out. Mac Ricketts now over to Colahan. That one will get blocked once again at the net. Colahan now with a good challenge at the net and gets the point, and she's trying to fire up this squad, and you love to see that from the freshman. You know, going in there, making an impact, turning around, saying, let's go, let's get back into this. This game is far from over. Let's scrape together some points.
Right now would be a great time for an Allie White run.
White serve will be sent over. A good serve will be handled well by the Knights from Baker. And now we're going to get double here from the Knights. And Tigers now only trailing by 4. As the crowd's starting to get back into it here, trying to find any bit of energy and momentum to will this Tiger team to a 5th and final set. Allie White now will send this one away. Another good serve. Baker will receive that one over to Kellogg, and that one will be sent down. Tigers trailing by 3 now, and it looks like we're going to get a timeout here from Amber Warners. Tigers trying to make a little bit of a late magic run here to go take this one to set number 5. So what did you see right there from those couple points that really allowed the Tigers to get back into this one?
I think it was just going quick, going fast, and Calvin kind of didn't expect it to come like that. I think Allie White's serve, very hard to receive, so I think she's the perfect person to be serving right now for this Tigers team.
So a very well timed timeout here from Amber Warners. We've got a fun one here in Pam Evans Smith Arena. Tigers trailing the Knights 21-18 here in set number 4. We will be right back after this short break. So we are back here in set number 4. Allie White looking to continue her impressive serving to try to will this Tigers team to a 5th and final set.
Yeah, a point here for the Tigers is crucial.
Allie White, another good serve. But Baker from the back row, and Allie White. Mac Ricketts able to keep that one up. Some very impressive play from both sides to keep this ball in play. Rubel now over to Kellogg, the big hitter, and Allie White once again to Mac Ricketts over to Linkart. That's going to get blocked down. Mac Ricketts ready with the reaction time. Allie White once again. Mac Ricketts trying to send that one over. The Knights are prepared for it this time. Savoy tried to send that one over. Very light hit. Allie White now. Tyler Linkart will just have to send this one over. A dangerous time now if you're Tigers. But a good hand on that one will allow Colahan to get under it. Kendall Black will send it over. Rubel now back to Kellogg again. Allie White putting on a dig showcase here in this volley. Kellogg again, it'll get blocked out of bounds.
But talk about the defense there from Allie White. Like I was saying earlier, that girl is all over the floor. Keeping that ball alive, keeping this Tiger team in it. Unfortunately, it didn't go the way of the Tigers, but wow, did she play some good defense.
Yeah, just some very impressive play all over their court from all of these players to keep that volley as fun and entertaining as it was. Some big hits, some better defense, and unfortunately, the big block was tipped out of bounds. So the Tigers now trailing by 4 here in set number 4, and that will send Alyssa DeVries back there to send it away for the Calvin Knights. So once again, we're going to have, I'm sure, a lot of Allie White sweat on the floor after that possession. After that volley. She was all over the place in this one, showcasing some very impressive skill. But now DeVries looking to send this one over. Here's the serve. Allie White's there to receive it. Mac Ricketts now to Tyler Linkart will send that one short. And a very good play there from Tyler Linkart.
Yeah, Tigers keeping it close, battling it out.
And now we're going to see Sam Fincham enter the game for Cameron Colahan. So it'll be sent over. A good serve. Kendall Black with the big kill there. Sends this one down, and that gets the crowd on their feet. The energy back in this arena as the Tigers trail by 2. The big serve from Mac Ricketts there. Here's the serve once again. Rubel back to Black. Tyler Linkart able to shoulder that one in somehow. Sam Fincham now with the big kill opportunity. Rubel's there. Over to Kellogg. Kellogg gets blocked, and they call it in.
Tiger team coming back. We love to see it. I wouldn't be surprised if we got a timeout here by Calvin's coach, and there it is.
Amber Warners are going to call her final timeout here at set number 4 as the Tigers climb back within 1 here in set number 4. Some very big play from Kendall Black, Allie White, Mac Ricketts, Tyler Linkart, all these big-time players that we expect to see. So we've got a fun one here in set number 4. We're going to let these coaches talk it over. We'll be right back after this short break. And we are back. Mac Ricketts to try to keep this game close. Once again, back there to serve it away. The energy is back in this arena as everyone feels the tense and intensity in the air. Good play there. Oh, and a beautiful play there from the freshman Golem to keep that one up. That one's going to be sent over and right off the hand of Allie White as Emma Ekblaw once again seems to keep showing up in these very important times.
Yeah.
Will send the Knights up by 2 once again, and it will send Kellogg back there to serve. But what a play from Ava Golem to throw that hand out there and keep that one in play from the freshman.
Calvin is out of rotation, but they are all very shocked. So we're going to see what's going on here.
So as Calvin tries to figure out what the explanation was from the official.
They're arguing with the official.
So they're going to try to figure this one out, but at the end of the day, the official called it point Wittenberg, as they're just going to...
Big break there.
As Wittenberg gets a free point, let's see if Tyler Linkart and company can take advantage of it. Linkart serve now is going to go over. Good serve. 2 Tigers going up for it there. A good opportunity for the Knights, and a very good play there. Doesn't sneak over the net. and it doesn't matter as Piper Ricketts, unfortunately, cannot get that one over the net. But I saw you holding up the three. It looked like they were gonna.
I don't think Calvin Smittle touched that on that one, and the ball came over and they hit it a couple more times.
So here we go.
Yeah.
Set point, game point for the Tigers, or for not the Tigers, excuse me, for Calvin. Tigers need to keep this one. That's going to be a big touch, and that's going to be ball game. Calvin Knight's able to improve to 5-0 on the season.
But it was a great battle by the Wittenberg Tigers in that last set to try to come back and take it. Couple lucky breaks, but unfortunately they couldn't pull away with it.
Yeah, very tough game. A very well-played game on both sides. Calvin, you know, they really showed us why tonight they're the number 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
They're a very well-oiled machine. They seem to have a lot of very good hitters. You know, they seem to just be consistent with their attack, consistent with their play, consistent with their energy. Even with that controversial couple of calls there to end it, it didn't matter. They still showed up. But I think if you're Evelyn Miller, you saw a lot of good things from a lot of your younger players. You know, just a lot of good play all around. Just unfortunately ran into a very tough team who's got a lot of momentum on their side right now. And unfortunately weren't able to kind of find some of those things that were missing against some of those teams early on in the season, but a lot of good things to build off of, especially to end that set number 4.
Sure. And I think Calvin kind of wanted this one a little more, losing last year. I think they kind of pulled away with it at the end in the last 2 sets, and then Wittenberg trying to battle back, but unfortunately I think the run was too late on in the game.
So Wittenberg will improve to 1-3 on the season as they will be back in action tomorrow morning. Doesn't get much tougher than it did tonight as they are going to be playing the number 3 team in the country, Hope, at 10 o'clock here on the Tiger Sports Network. We appreciate and thank you all for tuning in tonight's matchup of Wittenberg versus Calvin, with Calvin taking it 3-1 and improving to 5-0 on the season. We here at Tiger Sports Network, thank you all for tuning in once again. I'm JJ Weisenberger with my partner, Nicole. We will see you next time.